Hi, the title of this podcast is This is Not a Game. This is My Life. This podcast was inspired by something I was thinking about a while back when people and myself would be talking to people who would be peaceful, that had a different kind of approach to life that I didn't have. I was moving through life as Keith 1.0, expecting everything to be perfect, expecting people to do what I thought they should do, expecting life situations to meet my expectations, complaining when it didn't happen or experiencing suffering. This obsessive voice that never stopped talking. This is how life used to be for me before the practice. And so during that time, when someone would say something to me, it's like, you don't understand. They would say things like, let it go, or learn how to be with this, or to accept this. It's like, you don't understand. Like, this is my life. This isn't a game. And they would be the wise one. And they wouldn't say anything, but I didn't know it then. But inside, they could have been saying, I know that this is your life. And why are you throwing it away by making an enemy of people that disagree with you, that believe differently, making a mess of things with your negativity, of being in picturesque places, in vacations, and you have this opportunity to really connect with those who you are closest to, and you want to be bothered by a delayed flight, or bothered by the room not being the way that you thought that it should be. Like all these little things that I would get twisted up over, which would cause me to be throwing my life away. But I didn't see myself as throwing my life away. I thought that I was approaching life very seriously because it's not a game. But I was approaching it as if it was trivial, because these moments, and they're fleeting, are what make up life. And every time that I'm not rooted in the present moment, but I am somewhere on down this rabbit hole, being pulled away by this stimulus, could be the media or the negativity that it may be occurring in the world, or negative behavior of someone else, that I become so trapped in it, or my own negative behavior, to become so identified with it that I miss out on the goodness that's right there in front of me. I miss out on all the joys. When I was throwing my life away, thinking that I was being serious, but when I was not making time to work on myself so I can handle how life shows up, which would create more space to notice all the beauty that was there. When I wasn't doing that, what was clear to me was looking back, was a number of things that I complained about during the course of a day. And the lack of instances or experiences that I can name that were good about the day. Now with the practice, my awareness of what's good about the day, or about people or situations, has expanded. Here's an example. Now, with what's going on in the world right now, there's so much going on in politics, Supreme Court, COVID, so many things. The old me would only allow myself to have space to entertain those things. This version of myself, the higher self that I try to live from, that centered space, it noticed in the face of all those things that I would like to see improved upon or to be changed, I can be peaceful there. I can see the good along the way. There's still space to notice the mountains. There's still space to see the kindness that is exhibited by people. And the people that my mind will say, well, they believe differently about this subject than I do, but I can still see the kindness in those differences. Like that's a whole different way of living. And when I can do that, I'm not throwing my life away. I'm not treating it like it's a game. I see people that are so, because I used to be like this, that are so twisted up over things that are outside their control, beyond the normal action that they would take, whether it's, let's say, something to deal with social issues or politics, in which they can vote or do a petition. Like, oh, definitely take those actions for sure. But to bring in the suffering that you are choosing to take on, and my story was, I'm not choosing to take this on. People are doing this to me. No, people who do what they do, I can choose whether or not I take on the suffering. And so to do that kind of behavior would be to not treat my life as the precious units that make it up. I'm not living that way anymore. So before, I'm clear that I treated my life like a game because I was giving those moments away left and right. You know, I could be with my family and I would find a way in this sacred space of being with my family to bring in the outside world or my narrative about the world into those spaces. I'm on vacation. Why would I bring that here? I'm in my home at the end of the day. Why would I bring that here? I can't do anything about it here, but talk about it. Why would I bring the news and watch the repetitive recycling of that information that I'm creating a narrative that's causing me suffering? Why would I bring that into this space? Why would I bring it to work? Why would I do that? I would do that if I'm not treating my life seriously. And treating it seriously doesn't mean being agitated and worked up over it. It means treating it precious, as this precious thing that it is. Why would I give away my Monday morning to a narrative of like, here we go, it's Monday morning? No. Why don't I make my Mondays feel like my Fridays? Like that's a different way of living. Then I'm not throwing away my Mondays. I'm living my Mondays, and that takes practice. And so when I think about it, you know, this is not a game, this is my life, then start acting like it. That's what I say to Keith. Then start acting like it. You know, stop throwing it away with unconscious behavior, getting worked up over things that a little exhaling, leaning back, not getting wrapped up, not taking myself so seriously, not making everything a problem. Like practice doing that so that I create more space to really treat my life in the way that it deserves to be treated. Like it's this fleeting thing, it's impermanent, and it'll be gone like that. And so I need to honor every moment of that. And being worked up, being anxious, being down, being depressed, worrying, obsessive thinking, that's not treating it. That's not taking it seriously. The way that I live my life right now, not being bothered by things outside of my control, taking action when action is necessary, but doing it from a peaceful space, that's treating life seriously. I invite you, if you're not doing so, consider doing that. It's a whole different way of living.